I need your help. Please subscribe my channel. My name is Sean Friedman. I'm 34. And the day my family set a table for their pets, but not for me or my son, I finally understood what it means to be extra. The night before, Paige had called, her voice cutting through the quiet of my kitchen while Jamie rinsed blueberries at the sink. At the same time, my boyfriend Noah sent me a picture of the crooked lamp he'd finally straightened in his apartment. Paige and I hadn't spoken since Thanksgiving. The fight, the silence, the way Mom hovered like a referee who always favored one team, it had lingered. I should have ignored her call. I let it ring once. But it came again. And again. When I finally answered, Paige didn't say hello. She didn't ask about Jamie. She didn't laugh nervously the way she always did when she wanted something. Her voice was flat, low. "You might want to come this year," she said. "Meaning?" I asked, my hand resting on the cool countertop, gripping it like it might hold me upright. Silence. Then, "Just come. Please." I didn't say yes. I didn't say anything. The next morning I woke Jamie early, told him to put on his sneakers, and packed a tote with sunscreen, 2 juice boxes, and the kind of hope you only admit to a child. Maybe today will be normal. Noah offered to drive us, but I refused. This was my story to walk into and, if needed, walk out of alone. The drive was 2.5 hours of highway and half-finished conversations. Jamie pressed his face to the window. "What will they have for food?" "Probably barbecue," I said. "Maybe Grandma's potato salad." I didn't say the potato salad always tasted like guilt and dill, that I hadn't wanted it in years. As we neared my parents' house, my stomach twisted. Not the kind of tension you can breathe through, but the old alarm that knew their rhythm, the one that warned me before they said something I'd spend months trying to forgive. The house appeared. White siding, porch swing, hydrangeas I'd bought once for Mother's Day, blooming defiantly. Laughter drifted from the backyard. I smoothed Jamie's hair. "Stick close," I said. He nodded, fingers slipping into mine. The yard looked staged. Long tables beneath string lights, name cards in looping script, a bartender in a linen apron shaking frothy drinks, my father puffing his chest by the grill as if smoke could hold him upright, Mom flitting between guests, her smile perfect, daring reality to interrupt. No one greeted us. We stood at the edge, as if we'd arrived late and the only seats left were on the floor. I searched for Paige, for a sign this had been the right choice, found neither. "Mom," Jamie whispered, tugging my sleeve. I followed his gaze. Every chair at the nearest table had a plate, a napkin, a knife and fork, a name card perched like it mattered. Every chair except ours. I told myself there must be another table. A kid's table. Maybe our cards had blown away. Maybe. All the old childhood excuses lined up in my head. "Why don't we have any plates?" Jamie asked loud enough to pause a conversation. Dad laughed, not even turning to us. "We didn't plan for extras," he said. The word lodged in my throat. I scanned the yard again. A smaller table under the oak gingham cloth, tiny chalkboard signs. Bella Duke Willow Scout. Silver bowls, bottled water with custom labels. Their pets had place cards. Their cats had salmon. My hand went clammy. Mom walked past, tying a bow on a golden retriever's collar. The same hands that once braided my hair, now tender only to animals. She didn't look at me. Or maybe she did and chose not to see. I remembered a February Monday. Mom crying because the roof leaked. Insurance wouldn't cover it. I remembered transferring $6,500 from our joint family account, the one we'd set up for emergencies when Dad got sick. I remembered her promises to repay me by summer, asking me not to tell Paige to avoid drama. I believed her. Always did. Now she was tying bows on dogs, hands I'd meant to help, smile I couldn't read. Something inside me went still. Not hot anger. Cold. Clean. Like a pane of glass slid between me and the scene. I could see every fingerprint for what it was. I took Jamie's hand and stepped forward. Conversations quieted. Dad finally glanced at me, eyes flicking like I was an inconvenience. I smiled. Not the smile he knew. A new one. The kind you wear when you're done negotiating your own humanity. "Before you start eating," I said, voice steady, "check the joint account." It took a heartbeat for understanding to hit. Mom's phone slipped in her hand. Chairs scraped. Forks chimed. I didn't wait. I turned to my son. "Let's go, baby. We walked out. No one stopped us. A dog barked punctuation on the scene. In the car, Jamie asked if we were in trouble. No, I said. We just remembered who we are. He ate fries like contraband joy while I scrolled my phone. Message after message. What did you just do? We needed that money. Be reasonable. Family doesn't do this. I read them like they were strangers. The ones that hit hardest. We were counting on you. You embarrassed us. Think about Jamie. Don't punish him for your anger. I typed nothing. Silence can be a boundary, not a battlefield. Jamie's sneaker brushed my elbow. I slid my hand back and squeezed his ankle. I'm here. I'm here. Then a message from Paige. I stared at it. You were right. 3 words. No emojis. No qualifiers. Paige, the diplomat, the apologist, finally admitted the truth. Somewhere in that backyard, the camera had panned from the pet's table to the wires behind the stage. Noah called. I let it go to voicemail. Didn't have the words yet. Just the terrifying soft relief that follows truth. Later I texted him. Tell you everything later. He replied with a heart and proud of you. I let it sit in my chest like a small kind weight. I drove home on quiet tree-lined streets, tucked Jamie in with his extra blanket, then sat on the floor by the nightstand, opening the top drawer where I keep things I can't throw away. Old birthday cards, the charm bracelet Mom gave me at 16, the printout of the $6,500 transfer with roof repair in the memo. I held the words "you were right" to the light. Not an apology. An admission. 2 very different things. I didn't reply. Not yet. The silence felt like a room I wanted to live in for one night. In the morning I would ask her what she meant by "things aren't what they seem." I would ask why she called me a witness to the pet's table while my son went without. For now I let the house settle. The fridge hummed. Somewhere a dog barked in another life. I whispered to the empty room. I'm done being the good daughter. The next day I woke before the alarm. Too quiet. Even Jamie's hum was missing. For a moment I thought about canceling. Pretending peace was enough. Pretending is how they kept me small. So I dressed in jeans and a gray sweater, tied my hair back, packed my folder, family stuff. Every bank transfer, every text, every proof saved not to fight, but to stop being gaslit. At my parents' house, the hydrangeas drooped. The home I once knew looked abandoned. Mom opened the door like greeting a delivery. Oh, she said flatly. You were serious? I didn't smile. You have a minute? She stepped aside but didn't invite me in. Dad flipped through the TV guide like it was 1995. Coffee and bacon filled the air, warm and wrong. Morning, I said. He didn't look up. You've made quite an impression, he said. I'm not here to impress. I need the truth. That made him meet my eyes. Truth about what? I placed the folder on the coffee table. The $6,500. The money for the roof, the money they told people I gave out of pity. Did you ever plan to pay it back? Mom crossed her arms. Sean, still on about the money? That's not an answer. We didn't lie, she said. We just didn't explain everything. I laughed. Not funny. You didn't explain that you used my savings to buy matching collars for the dogs. Watch your tone, Dad snapped. You're twisting my words, maybe. Not the facts. The room hummed, thick and brittle. Mom adjusted the curtain like light could mask lies. You've always had a flair for drama, she said. That's why we never told you certain things. You take everything personally. You mean accountability? I said. Family isn't a business transaction, Dad said. You made it about money. I wanted to scream, but screaming was expected. I stayed calm, deadly calm. This isn't about money, I said. It's about respect. Honesty. You've lied to me for years. He smirked. You've been talking to Paige, huh? This isn't nonsense, I said. This is the last time I'll ever try to talk to you like adults. Mom's eyes sharpened. You'll regret cutting off your family. I met her gaze. Not this time. I walked out before they could respond. For a moment I stood on the porch, letting the weight of all of it settle around me. I was shaking, not from fear, but from finally letting it all go. My voice stayed calm. My heart roared. I thought the ordeal had ended. But with people like them, silence isn't peace, it's plotting. 3 days later, Paige sent me a screenshot. A Facebook post, an old Christmas photo of Jamie from 2 years ago. He sat on Mom's lap wearing a red sweater, frosting smeared on his nose. I'd taken that photo myself. The caption read, "We don't get to see him much anymore, but we'll always love our sweet Jamie. Family is complicated, but love is simple." A red heart emoji followed. The comments were full of pity. "You're such wonderful grandparents. He'll come back around. Family always finds its way." My hands trembled. They'd rewritten the story before I could even catch my breath. Me. "I can't believe this." Paige called immediately. "She's already telling people you lost it at the reunion. That you're having a breakdown." My chest burned. They were making me the villain. Paige's voice was urgent. "They've done it before. They'll keep doing it. Be careful, Sean." So I did what I always do when reason fails. I documented everything. Screenshots, texts, timestamps, the digital armor of the accused. Still, a small part of me wanted to believe this was the worst of it, that public humiliation was their ceiling. I underestimated them. That night, I sat alone in the dark living room. Jamie slept down the hall. The TV was muted, some cooking show, everything clean and orderly. I watched chefs chop vegetables, wishing life came with a simple recipe sometimes. The next morning I dropped Jamie at school, kissed his forehead, and promised I'd be early for pickup. He grinned shyly, a gap-toothed smile that made everything worth it. At 3 p.m., I pulled into the pickup line. Kids flooded out, backpacks bouncing. 5 minutes. 10. 15. No Jamie. My stomach twisted. I parked and went inside. The receptionist greeted me. "He was picked up at 2:15, Miss Friedman." "By whom?" "They're listed as emergency contacts," she explained gently. "Your parents. They showed ID. We double-checked." I couldn't breathe. The air thickened, syrupy. "They weren't allowed." My voice broke. "They didn't tell me." She frowned. "Is everything okay?" But I was already running. I called Mom. No answer. Dad. Nothing. Then Paige. She picked up immediately. "Sean, I think they took him home. I'm on my way." Her voice trembled. "I'm already driving," I said. The trip blurred, red lights, honking horns, the pounding of my own heartbeat. By the time I reached their street, I was trembling so hard I nearly dropped my keys. I didn't knock. I shoved the door open. There they were, on the couch. Jamie sat between them, clutching a cookie, pale and confused. When he saw me, he leapt into my arms. I turned to my parents, voice low and icy. "If you ever take my son again without permission, I'll call the police." Mom blinked, stunned. "We just wanted time with him. You've been so distant." Dad rose. "You're overreacting, Sean. You left him on the contact list. That doesn't give you permission to kidnap him." "Kidnap?" He scoffed. "You make everything sound so dramatic." I didn't argue. I gripped Jamie's hand. "Say goodbye, honey." He looked at them, then back at me. "I don't want to go with them again." Mom's face crumpled. Not in guilt, but in losing control. We walked out. Outside, the air felt lighter, freer. In the car, Jamie whispered. "They said I said it was okay." I stared at the road, calm. "You didn't." He nodded, clutching the hem of his hoodie. That night, he crawled into bed, holding my hand. I stared at the ceiling, counting breaths, feeling the walls of my old life closing behind me. The next morning, I emailed the school, attached custody papers, and removed my parents from the emergency contact list. I printed every message, every fake apology, every post. When Paige arrived later, she was furious. "They're saying you manipulated me, that you're unstable." I laughed. A laugh that didn't sound human. Of course they did. Then she handed me a flash drive. "Listen to this last recording. You'll understand why I'm moving out." She left before I could ask. That night after Jamie slept, I played it. Static, then voices, Mom and Dad. "Sean needs to think she's in control. Let her cut us off. She'll come back when she's tired or broke. Or we go through Jamie. He's soft. He trusts people." I froze. They didn't love us, they schemed. The next morning I called a realtor. Calm, professional. 2 bedrooms, good schools, quiet neighborhood. "We can schedule a showing this weekend." By the time we hung up, I was shaking, not from fear but from finality. No undo button. No going back to the daughter who still believed family could be fixed. Jamie colored at the table. Will Aunt Paige come too? He asked. Yeah, I said softly. She's looking for a place nearby. He smiled. Can we have a dog? I laughed for the first time in weeks. Yeah, honey, we can. Life settled into an uneasy calm. I changed my number, blocked my parents everywhere. The phone was quiet. Too quiet. Then one morning an envelope appeared. No return address, my name in Mom's perfect cursive. Inside, a letter full of blame disguised as concern. I crumpled it, smoothed it, and ignored it. This was an apology, it was manipulation. 2 weeks later, Paige and I moved into a small duplex. Rain and freedom filled the air. Jamie's room was yellow, decorated with his art, and Penny, the floppy-eared dog, became his guardian angel. Mornings were calm. Coffee, job searches, therapy planning. Silence healed us. One evening a new email appeared. FamilyFirstAlways.com. Subject line, we know where you are. Message. Families always come back together. You'll see. I tightened locks, installed cameras. Paige urged the police, but I wanted proof first. 3 days later the school called. Jamie had been picked up early. By whom? Someone pretending to be me. Police intercepted her. She had my hair, glasses, ID. My heart shattered quietly like bone, not glass. That night, Jamie slept clutching Penny. I called a lawyer. Custody lockout, restraining orders, change schools, change locks. Survival, not victory. Weeks passed. Slowly the noise faded. Jamie stopped checking doors, Paige laughed again, Penny thrived. Glimpses of my old self returned. Softer, steadier, quieter. One night, Jamie showed me a drawing. 3 stick figures and a dog. That's us, he said. Tears blurred the page. Perfect. 6 months later we were finally home. Safe. No threats, no letters, no guilt, just us. Every night I tucked Jamie in, Penny curled beside him, and finally feel peace. Not the kind bought with apologies, but built with people who show up. Sometimes peace isn't forgiveness. It's distance. Silence. Breathing freely for the first time. I'm not the daughter they wanted, but I am the mother my son deserves.